What's up, guys? Username Unknown57 here. This video is going to be a little bit different. Well, in fact, a lot different from most of the videos that you see me post. This one's about an incident that happened to me almost 5 years ago. I don't very often talk about that night. I'd really like to forget it. But you can't turn on the news these days without seeing the story of Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman. Now, I don't pretend to know what happened on that night. I know that one young man lost his life. I know that there's been national outcry from the black and white community for justice. You know, no justice, no peace. But this has reminded me, brought up some bad memories of that night 5 years ago. And to set it up for you, I'm an electrician by trade. And at that time, I'd been laid off from my job along with the rest of the company. And I had to find a way to supplement my income. My neighbor suggested, hey, you know, I'm delivering pizzas for the pizza restaurant down the street. And, you know, I make $100, $110 a night in tips on the weekends. And I'm fixing to have to give up my position because I've gotten a better job. And if you would like for me to take you down there and introduce you to the manager, I'm sure I can get you on to take my place. Well, delivering pizzas isn't something, you know, isn't my life ambition. But, you know, I thought, well, here's a way to get a part-time job that doesn't sound too hard to do, and I can supplement my income. So I took the job, and I won't name the pizza chain, but it is a national chain. I know it's inherently dangerous, and if I lived in a big city, I wouldn't even have considered taking the position. But I live in a small town outside of a major city, and the odds of something bad happening to me while delivering food, I thought was very slim. And for the first 3 months, I loved the job. I was killing it. I grew up around here my whole life. I know all the shortcuts, side streets, you know, you name it. I know how to get around this town. So I was making good money. Had a smaller vehicle at the time that was better on gas than my F-150 is. And, you know, I found it not uncommon on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night for me to walk out of there with, you know, 110, 120 bucks in tips, plus a little $1 a delivery that the restaurant gave the drivers. And I was really enjoying it. Then one night, we got a call about 11 o'clock on a Friday night, about this time of year, nice warm evening. And, excuse me if I smoke. Again, this story I'm telling you now is bringing back old memories, bad memories, and ones that I figured I'd never be sharing with you. But one night about 11 o'clock, we got a call and for delivery, and it was just in a neighborhood a quarter of a mile from the restaurant. So I took the delivery. It was in my rotation. All the drivers rotate, you know, you get the next call that comes in. So my delivery was in a small neighborhood a quarter of a mile from the restaurant. So off I go, unsuspecting that I had been set up. When I got to the residence, the house was dark. Now, the restaurant chain had a policy, if it was at my discretion, if I didn't want to stop at a dark house, just keep driving. Wasn't worth taking a risk. When someone would order a pizza, they would tell the people, leave the light on for the driver. But, you know, about 60% of the houses I went to at night had no light on. The bulb was burnt out, they forgot to turn it on, whatever. So I was used to delivering to dark addresses. But this night, Find the address. The house is dark. There is a street corner lamp, street corner light in the edge of the yard that this address sat on. And as I was going by it, I looked in the mirror and I saw a young black gentleman running out, waving his hands, holler, hey, yo, whoa, hey. So I go up a block and I turn around on the side street. Now usually when I'm approaching a dark house, I'll take my mag light. And this is one of the big skull crackers like the cops carry. I usually stick it in my back pocket. But something told me to leave the light in the truck and take my .38. Now I want to stop for just a second, guys, and just tell you that if you ever have a gut feeling like I did that night, listen to your instincts, because that's what it is, your instincts saying, hey, something's not right here. Don't take the flashlight, take the .38. Now, of course, weapons were prohibited, from terms of the employment. You had to sign a waiver saying you wouldn't carry any type of weapon, not even a pocket knife. But I once had a local policeman here tell me that, man, you're crazy. I wouldn't do what you're doing without a gun. So that night, I listened to my gut instinct, and instead of reaching under the seat and grabbing my mag light, I grabbed my Smith & Wesson Airweight Bodyguard subframed .38 Special, and I put it in the small of my back. So I was legal in carrying it as far as the state and county laws. It wasn't concealed. I don't have a concealed carry, but it was dark, and the gun was solid black, grips and all. So in the dark you could not see it, even though it wasn't concealed. So I broke the pizza company's law, but I was adhering to state and county laws. Pizza company can kiss my ass. I'm the person out here putting myself in harm's way for a frickin' $50 order. So I turn around, .38 in my back, small of my back. I go to the back down. I stop, I roll the window down. The guy's like, hey, yo, Mama's got the check. Come on up to the porch. And I said immediately, well, if you want me to come up there, you need to tell Mama got some lights on, because homeboy ain't coming up there in the dark. He said, well, let me go up here. Let me call her on the phone. And he goes, hey, Mama, pizza man's here. Open the door. Got some lights on. And then he said, she's coming to the door. She was asleep. Come on up. So still a little leery, I followed him up 6 concrete steps in the front yard to the front porch, where I found 2 other young black gentlemen. Now, all these guys looked to be about high school age. I said, guys, if your mama's coming with the check, you need to get some lights on, get her out here. I've got other places to go, other things to do. I'm not hanging around. And the guy said, well, wait a minute. The one that had flagged me down, he said, if you got change for 100, I'll pay for the order. How much is it? And he even opened up his cell phone and held it over so I could read the ticket, since I didn't have my flashlight. I said, the order's $52 some odd cents. He said, well, if you got change for 100? I said, well, not on me, but maybe in the truck. So, that gut feeling was screaming in my ear, and it had been screaming, fool, get out of here. You're in a bad situation. Well, I had to turn around to see to get down those damn steps, because it was dark. And as soon as I turned, and I was planning on making a hasty retreat, as soon as I turned, bam, right in the back of the head, right here. Sent me down those stairs, head over ass in. I landed with my feet facing the stairs. I was on my back. And, I was hurt. I've got a damn hard head, so the blow didn't knock me out. It just knocked me down the stairs. Now, in the process of tumbling down the stairs, I got several scrapes, cuts, bruises on the face, on the arm, on the back, on the hip. But as I was tumbling down the stairs, the .38 got jammed down in my belt line. So here I am. I find myself addled, hurt, laying on the ground, feet facing the concrete stairs. I hear the two, what I presume were the two guys on the steps, laughing and running, picking up the pizzas that went, helter-skelter. It was a sizable order. I guess they wanted to be sure I had my hands full, so it'd be harder for me to defend myself. So I'm laying there on the ground. I look up, and the guy that was doing all the talking, and the guy that hit me in the back of the head, was coming down the stairs with a smirk on his face. And I could see his hands. He didn't have any weapons, but his fists were clenched. So I know I'm about to get my brain stomped out. Now, about that time, I roll over and I start reaching. The gun's jammed down the crack of my ass. And I'm reaching, I've got it, but the belt won't let me pull it out, or I'm having trouble pulling it out. Now, if I didn't want to shoot this guy, and I said, "Oh, please don't hurt me, let me get my wallet," and I'd have come out with .38 and double tapped him, and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and the new Black Panther movement would have been putting out a reward on me. But I didn't. I didn't want him to close that last 6 feet before I could get my weapon cleared. So I said, pardon my language, "Motherfucker, you better run." And he saw me pulling, and you should have seen the, "oh shit" look on his face. And the time I got the gun cleared, bought it around, raised my knees, he'd turned to run. Now, I'm going to tell you something, just as sure as I'm sitting here talking to you. I'd have blew his ass away if he'd have still been advancing on me when I got the gun out of my pants. I didn't know what he was planning to do. Probably rob me, take my truck, and I'm sure it wouldn't have turned out well for me in any case. I stood up. Again, I was hurt. I drew down on him. He was running. I had him dead in the back from maybe, 20 feet at this point, 25 feet. And I'm a good shot, believe me. I've been shooting all my life. I grew up on a farm. I cut my teeth on a .22 rifle, and I hit what I'm aiming at, handgun or long arm. I'm well versed in the shooting skills, but I had a split second to think, shoot or don't shoot. And of course, the minute he started retreating, the don't shoot prevailed. And I'm glad I didn't shoot him. I'm not out to hurt anybody. I'm a nice guy. But I was prepared to send him to meet his maker. Unequivocally, if he'd have been advancing on me when that gun cleared my waistband. Again, I don't like to talk about this, a painful experience. Underwent 6 months of physical therapy. Of course, I called the police. They came out. I told them exactly what happened. Held the gun out in my hand like this. The officer, of course, pointing, told him what happened. I said, "Here's the gun right here." And he said, "I don't even want to see your gun." And he said, "Matter of fact, we'll just leave that out of the police report." Because he knew that I would be immediately terminated from the pizza restaurant for carrying a firearm. Although at that point, the hell with them. I'm not doing this anymore. You're asking me to sign a waiver, put myself in harm's way, and with no way to defend myself, screw you. But anyway, I went through 6 months of physical therapy and 6 months of workman's comp benefits. Recovering from that spiel, I'd already had a back surgery, and this further aggravated the ruptured vertebra in my back that had been surgically repaired. Took a lot of therapy, but I'm glad I'm here to tell the tale. And all I wanted to get out of it was, hey, You know, would I have been right to pop this guy? Like to hear your comments. If you're trolling or hating, I retract that comment. I don't care what you have to say. But I would like to hear your comments on it. And, you know, all this deal with Trayvon and Zimmerman stirred those memories up, and, you know, bring up the question, what if? What if that guy had it bounced and I would have popped him? I guarantee you there wouldn't be but one person telling the tale, me. What would you have done? Love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your comments. Very personal experience I just shared with you. I'm not a prejudiced person. But as far as racial profiling goes, yeah, it might be against the law, but it's human nature. It's based on experience, and there's no law that can change that.